In the small town of Maplewood, a scary story has come to life in 2026. The Maplewood Asylum, which has been empty for over 30 years, is now the center of creepy tales that everyone is talking about. But what really happened inside those old walls? It all started when 5 friends, Jake, Mia, Sam, Lily, and Tom, decided to explore the asylum one night. They were excited about the chance to see ghosts. With flashlights and a camera, they entered the asylum just as the sun went down, casting long shadows everywhere. As they walked in, the air turned cold and everything went silent. They could hear water dripping somewhere, and the smell of mold filled their noses. They went deeper inside, and their laughter faded as they felt more scared. Soon, they found a room filled with old patient files. One file caught their attention. It was about a woman named Clara who had been sent there for depression and hallucinations. The last note in the file made them shiver. Patient 47 hears voices and sees shadows that call her name. Curious and scared, they decided to try a seance to contact Clara's spirit. They formed a circle, held hands, and called her name. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the room, making them jump apart. The flashlight flickered, and in the darkness, they heard a soft voice say, "Help me." It felt like the voice was coming from everywhere. Fear took over, but Jake wanted to keep going. They moved to an old therapy room filled with rusty equipment. As they looked around, Mia felt a cold breath on her neck. When she turned, she saw a shadowy figure in the corner. "Did you see that?" she whispered, shaking. The others nodded, scared. Wanting to leave, they tried to retrace their steps, but the asylum felt different. Hallways that were straight now twisted, and doors that had been open slammed shut. They were trapped. The whispers grew louder, repeating Clara's plea for help, and the friends realized they were not alone. In a panic, they split up to find a way out, but each friend faced their own nightmare. Sam walked into a room filled with old photos of patients, and their eyes seemed to follow him. Lily ended up in the basement, hearing chains rattle. Tom ran into a room of mirrors and saw Clara's reflection staring back at him, her face twisted in fear. One by one, they began to disappear. Jake, now alone, searched for his friends, calling their names, but only silence answered. The whispers grew louder, drowning out his thoughts. Just when he thought he would be lost forever, he found the entrance. But as he reached for the door, a cold hand grabbed his shoulder. The next morning, the townspeople found the asylum quiet. The friends were never seen again, leaving behind only their camera, which had footage of their last moments. The last image showed Jake's terrified face, eyes wide with fear, as shadows closed in around him. Today, the Maplewood Asylum stands as a scary reminder of the unknown. Locals say that on quiet nights, you can still hear Clara's whispers and the cries of the lost friends echoing through the halls, forever trapped in a nightmare. Would you dare to visit and find out the truth? Most people think the scariest things happen at night, but this happened in the middle of the afternoon, and over 2 million people watched it happen live. On March 3rd, 2026, a small hiking creator named Daniel posted a live stream while exploring a forest trail in Oregon. His channel wasn't huge, about 8,000 subscribers, but people liked watching him explore abandoned trails and forgotten places. That day, he titled the stream, "Exploring a Trail That Was Closed 20 Years Ago." At first, everything seemed normal. Daniel was walking along an overgrown path, joking with his viewers, pointing out old wooden signs that had fallen over. Then, about 20 minutes into the stream, he stopped walking. Someone had written something on a tree. The camera zoomed in. Carved into the bark were the words, "Turn back before sunset." Daniel laughed. "Probably kids messing around," he said. His viewers in the chat started joking about horror movies. But a few minutes later, things got strange. Daniel noticed footprints in the mud on the trail. Fresh footprints. But the trail had been officially closed since 2004. Someone had clearly walked there recently. "Okay, that's weird," he said. He kept following the path anyway. About another 10 minutes passed before he reached an old wooden ranger cabin. The place looked abandoned, windows broken, roof sagging. But something caught his attention. Smoke. Thin smoke rising from the cabin chimney. Someone was inside. Daniel's viewers started flooding the chat, telling him not to go closer. But curiosity got the better of him. He walked up to the front door and knocked. No answer. He pushed the door open. The inside of the cabin looked like someone had been living there for years. Blankets on the floor, empty cans, a small fire burning in a metal bucket. But there was no person. Then Daniel noticed something hanging on the wall. Photographs. Dozens of them, all printed from a small photo printer. And every single photo was of him. Different photos, him hiking, him filming videos, even one photo of him outside his own apartment building. The chat exploded with messages. People started telling him to leave immediately. That's when Daniel noticed the newest photo. It was still warm from the printer. The picture showed him standing inside the cabin, looking at the wall, the exact moment he was in right now. And behind him in the photo, standing in the cabin doorway, was a tall figure watching him. Daniel slowly turned around. The doorway behind him was empty, but outside the cabin, footsteps were crunching slowly through the leaves. Viewers watched the camera shake as Daniel whispered, "Someone's here." The footsteps stopped right outside the door. Then a hand slowly gripped the doorframe. The live stream ended right there. No one ever saw Daniel again. Police later investigated the area and found the cabin, but everything inside was gone. No photos, no fire, no signs anyone had been living there. Just one thing left behind. A single photograph on the floor. It showed Daniel walking toward the cabin earlier that day, and written on the back were the words, "You should have listened." This is not a normal story, because the video from this is still online, and people are still trying to figure out what actually happened. In February 2026, a small streamer named Jay went live at 3 a.m. Nothing unusual. He usually streamed late nights, talking to a few viewers, reacting to videos, just chilling. That night started normal. Chat was slow, maybe 20 people watching. Jay was laughing, talking, completely relaxed. Then someone in the chat typed something weird. "Why are you ignoring the other stream?" Jay frowned and read it out loud. "What other stream?" More messages started coming in. "Your second live. It has more viewers. This isn't the real one." Jay laughed it off, thinking it was a joke, until someone sent a link. He clicked it, and his face changed instantly. There was another stream. Same title, same thumbnail, same exact moment, but the viewer count was over 10,000. Jay stared at the screen, confused. What is this? His own voice was playing from the second stream, but the tone was different, calmer, slower.
almost empty. In the second stream, Jay wasn't laughing. He was just staring at the camera, not blinking, not reacting, just watching. Chat in that stream was going crazy. People were typing things like, "He moved, don't look behind you, it's not synced." Jay felt uneasy. He tried to refresh it, but it stayed the same. Then something happened that made his entire chat explode. The other Jay moved, slowly, not naturally, like his body was lagging behind itself. Then it spoke, but not in sync. Its mouth moved first, then the audio came a second later. "Turn around." Jay froze, because at that exact moment, someone in his own chat typed, "Don't do it." Jay forced a laugh. Okay, this is getting weird. He tried to ignore it, but he couldn't stop watching the second stream. Because now, the other version of him was smiling, a wide, unnatural smile. And then it said something else. "Look behind you." Jay shook his head. Nope, not doing that. His voice sounded less confident now. The chat in both streams was flooding. Some people were in both chats at the same time, and they started noticing something disturbing. The rooms weren't the same. In Jay's real stream, his door behind him was closed. In the other stream, the door was slightly open. Jay noticed it too. His breathing changed, slow, heavy. "You guys see that, right?" he said. More messages. "Your door is closed, not in the other one. End stream now." Jay stood up, slowly, not turning around yet, just staring at the second stream, trying to understand. Then, the other version of him stood up too, but faster, too fast, like it skipped frames. And then, it turned around. In the second stream, you could see inside the room behind him, dark, but something was there. Something tall, standing just inside the doorway. Jay whispered, "What is that?" The thing didn't move, but it didn't look human. Its shape was wrong, too long, too still. Then the other Jay stepped aside, like he was making space for it, inviting it. The chat lost it. "Run! Turn around now! It's in your room!" Jay finally couldn't take it anymore. He slowly turned around in his real stream. The room behind him was empty, door closed, nothing there. He let out a shaky breath. Okay, it's fake. It has to be fake. Then someone typed something that changed everything. "Look at your stream." Jay turned back to his camera and froze, because now, in his stream, the door behind him was open, just slightly, exactly like the other one was before. Jay's voice dropped to a whisper. "I didn't open that." He didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. Then, very slowly, the door creaked open further. No one touched it, no sound except that slow, dragging creak. And then, something stepped into the frame, right behind him. The stream didn't cut immediately. That's what makes it worse, because for a full 3 seconds, you can see it. Tall, thin, standing directly behind Jay, its face just out of view, and then the stream cut. No explanation, no goodbye, nothing. But clips were already saved, re-uploaded, analyzed. People slowed it down frame by frame, and that's when they noticed the final detail. Right before the stream cut, Jay wasn't looking at the camera anymore. He was looking slightly above it, like he was staring at something behind the screen, and his lips moved. No audio, just a whisper. People enhanced it, tried to read it, and most agree he said 3 words. "It's here, too." Jay never streamed again. No posts, no updates, nothing. But people who watched that stream live started noticing something after. Small things at first. Their doors not fully closed, shadows where there shouldn't be any. And sometimes, when they opened their camera app late at night, for just a split second, the image glitches and shows their room from a different angle, like someone else is already there, watching them before they even press record.